So this is one of the weeks where the House and the Senate have misalignment in their schedule. So the House is still on recess, but the Senate's going to be in session. They're going to consider S 1890, which is the Defend Trade Secrets Act, and they'll also try to bring up the FAA authorization later this week. So we're going to be following two hearings in the Senate Banking Committee this week. On Tuesday, the committee is going to hold a hearing focusing on the impact of consumer finance regulation on credit unions and banks. And one of the witnesses at this hearing is going to be a gentleman named Leonard Chanin. He used to be the Assistant Director of Regulation at the CFPB, and importantly, he is the author of CUNA's legal opinion memo on the CFPB statutory authority. So we're very pleased that he's going to be testifying at this hearing, and hopefully he'll hit on some of the themes that were in that memo. So we're going to use the hearing as an opportunity to formally deliver our regulatory burden study to the committee and encourage members to ask questions about the impact of the regulations on credit unions and how regulation might be changed in order to reduce credit unions' regulatory burden. The second hearing will be on Thursday, and this will be the semi-annual report of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. The witness at the hearing will be CFPB Director Richard Cordray, and in a lot of respects, this hearing is going to be very similar to the hearing the House Financial Services Committee held a few weeks ago. So the director will come to the committee and present testimony on the status of the Bureau and the recent activities. What we're going to be encouraging members of the committee to ask the director is about the Bureau's statutory exemption authority and the extent to which they've used it and that they're going to use it in order to tailor regulations to focus on abusers of consumers. So there are a number of regulations that are set to be proposed or finalized in the coming weeks. On Wednesday, we expect the Department of Labor to release the final rule on the definition of fiduciary. This has the potential to have an impact on how credit unions interact with their members. We've been very concerned about this throughout the entire rulemaking process, which is why we have sent 2 comment letters to the Department of Labor. We've engaged NCUA and the CFPB on this question. We've engaged Congress on this question. But on Wednesday, we expect the rule to be finalized. There could be an attempt in Congress to delay or to block implementation of the fiduciary rule, but we're going to need to see what it actually is and then measure the response after that. We're also paying very close attention for the Department of Labor's overtime regulation. We understand that that has been sent to the Office of Management and Budget, which is the last step before it becomes finalized. So we could see that at any time as well. At the CFPB, the payday lending proposal is probably the next rulemaking we'll see. It's been delayed a long time, but in the next few weeks we could see it proposed, and then we'll need to review it, determine how it affects credit unions and respond to it. But basically Congress is going to come back, and over the next 3 months they're going to try to get as much work as they can do. The next 3-month period is the last opportunity really to move legislation before the election, because when they recess on July 15th, they're going to be out of session until the 1st of September. They're taking 7 weeks off. And when they come back in September, they're really only going to be in session for about 3 weeks before they leave for the election. So the period of time between now and the middle of July is absolutely crucial. They've got the FAA bill that we mentioned earlier. The Puerto Rico crisis is something they want to work on early in this session. They want to respond to the Zika virus. There is a great interest in doing something about Flint, Michigan's water issue, not to mention the appropriations bills. There is a lot on Congress's plate and a very short window to get anything done. They'll try to get as much done as they can between now and July 15th, but a lot of these things will be punted till after the election.